This is a game changer. We're able to print and cut in the same machine, Felicia.
I know, that's pretty amazing.
Is this a flux capacitor? No, it's the Flux Ador and the print module. This is amazing. So this is a different module. Basically what you do is you take your laser module off and replace it with this. And then during your process, during your jobs, you can flip them around and it tells you exactly what to do on the screen. Real simple to install. If you scan that QR code, they have a video, right? Step-by-step instructions.
Step-by-step instructions, very clear, very easy to follow.
There's a couple of things that are a little wonky with this, but I think once you get used to them, they won't be, because we've never done this before. We've never had this capability in a laser cutter before. So this is the machine. It holds one of 4 cartridges. You have your C, M, Y, and K. And here's Felicia looking up that QR code to get it in. We wanted to make sure we installed it correctly and we didn't break it. And we were amazed how easy it was. Now, it could be a little daunting if you're coming from the world of competing modules that don't have this capability. So what you do is you take the laser head off, one screw, just one screw, no cables, no air assist, and you just drop it on there, line it up. Now, the first time I did, I really had to give it a little bit of more than I was comfortable with. Really had to kind of wiggle it down, right?
Yeah, you look like you were struggling.
I'm like, I didn't want to break it. I didn't want to push too hard. I'm like, all right, I'm going to give it one final push. And
but once you got it, not to interrupt you, but once you got it, it made sense.
It snapped back in, yeah. So that screw, you put that screw back in, you're ready to go. So you take out your cartridges, and these are pretty big. Now, the print head on them is huge, as you'll see in a second. They cover a lot of ground.
Hey, just want to point out that these only last for 3 months.
That's the recommend. You can probably get a little bit more out of them. You keep them in an airtight container, you're going to be okay. And they give you these nice containers with the cartridges. They said, shake them up. What happened here?
But make sure you keep that cap on them before you shake, because we had to oops.
You can have a little leaky here and there. So you lift this little front flap up, and then you put this in here. It's just like one of them old school HP printers. Now you got to wait till it clicks in. You really got to get in and click it in there. And it'll take you a few times before you get in there straight to make sure that cover's down flat. What'd you do here?
So we went to this website, removed background, to take the background off of an image so that we could import that into the software, Beam Studio software, to actually do something with it, to make that puzzle we showed you in the beginning. So you magically take this background off, download that file, set that aside. Then you go over to this other website. It's a Jigsaw puzzle website where you can create how you want your Jigsaw puzzle to look. You can change all these different settings. You can play around with it, change the size, change how many tiles you have, round the corners, all this kind of fun stuff you can do right on this website. And then when you've got it configured the way that you want it, you just click that download SVG file and it saves it to your computer and you're ready to import that into Beam Studio.
Incredible. Is this all free?
This is all free. I did it all free.
How do you do that?
Magical, right?
Well, it looks like you got some, oh, I see. There's only one little, okay, so you can make it whatever size and change the jiggliness, I call it.
Exactly, exactly.
That's pretty cool. You can make your own puzzles. We used to have to use stickers, but now we can print right on the wood.
Right on the wood. So now I'm in the Beam Studio software and I'm just going to import in that first image of the caricature of us into the software. And what I was surprised by and taken aback by was that it came in black and white. And I was very confused by that. Then you actually came behind me and looked at the software and you go, hey, what about that option on the right? And on the right, we actually changed the module from diode laser to printing.
Ah, it thought it was going to engrave. That's why it came in black and white.
Exactly. And it wants to know if you're going to make this conversion. Click on confirm. And magic, the color comes right back.
It separates the CMYK for you, so you don't have to go through the trouble of doing that.
Exactly. And now it's got it on a print layer, which I'm going to go ahead and rename print so I don't get confused. Then I'm going to go upload the other image, which is the Jigsaw puzzle image, and load that into the software. And I'm going to select to load it in as laser module and single layer. Why? I'm not 100% sure, but that's what we went with.
And it worked.
And it worked.
Yeah.
So what it did, it brought it in, and it brought it in on a separate layer as well, which I'll rename from laser to cut. And then you'll notice that I'm going to go ahead and...
When you clicked on this thing, it kind of dimmed when you had the layers.
Yeah, we're going to show that in a second. So I resized the image to fit within the puzzle, the way we thought it would look well.
We made this way too small.
We totally made this.
This was our test project. We didn't want to waste a whole lot of ink.
Way too small. And then we sent it over.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. And then we sent it over. And what happens is the machine on the front, that little panel, the LCD panel on the front, tells you what you need to do. So it told us to start off, we were going to use the print module and install the black ink. And that's what you're doing here.
Yeah, and you got to hear it snap in.
You really do.
And it takes a little bit of, not a lot of muscle, but don't be afraid to push it in there so that it snaps in.
Right, and then you just follow the prompts on the front to continue the process.
I love that screen.
I do too, it looks great, right? And it gives you the time and the estimate and percentage complete.
Now you sped this up a little bit, not a whole lot.
I did speed this up, but I was incredibly surprised at how much it printed at one time.
Like a wide swath. Unlike a regular
Exactly.
printer, that's like a tiny line. This is like 5-10 lines at once.
Now this whole project, including changing all the different colors, changing the diode from the print module to the diode laser head, all of this took about 15 minutes.
Now you don't have to worry about it. You might move the print head a little bit because it's kind of awkward in this position. That's okay, because it's going to find the position it's supposed to be in. It's going to reposition itself before it starts printing. Just don't move the substrate or the wood or whatever you're printing on, and then you'll be okay. I tried to put it down with magnets, but really didn't need to do that. It wasn't going anywhere. Yeah, this gave me a little trouble. I had to really push it in there and just hear it click.
It makes you a little uncomfortable to have to push
It
so
does.
hard,
I'm like,
right?
am I going to break this?
Yeah, I had the same feeling when I was doing it myself.
This is the cyan, the blue. There's not a whole lot in there, but important to have that 4-color process. Unlike some other competing modules, which only have C, M, and Y, and it fakes the black by smushing all those colors together, which is really a huge waste of ink. You gotta think, they probably go through a lot of ink. It's nice having the flexibility to replace just one cartridge when you use a lot of it.
It's not hard. It takes time, but I mean,
No,
once you get the hang of it, it's kind of quick.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, man. I'm like, this is how it works in the real world. It's all one ink at a time, one layer at a time.
So the nice thing is that if we have to replace the cartridge, we only have to replace the one that we ran out of.
Just one, not the whole CMY
Exactly.
module. You're going to end up wasting. You might have had a whole bunch of red in there still.
That's right.
All right, this is the, oh, look, we're coming to life. We're coming back from Vampire World.
Isn't that neat?
That is pretty cool to watch. This is sped up, obviously.
This is so cool.
But it's actually not much slower than this, to be honest. I was really surprised how fast it was. And then we were a little too purple here, and here's the yellow, the last piece of the puzzle. See what I did there? Last piece of the puzzle. Pop that in there, and that brought us to life. But how good does that look? And I want to do something that was full color with skin tones on it. And I have no doubt we'd be able to do photographs with this.
No doubt at all.
I think there's some tropical scenery, and that's actually our next project. So subscribe, hit that notification button. We're gonna do a whole bunch more products with this Flux Ador. This is amazing.
So then it stops and it tells you, go ahead and install the diode laser head.
All we did is pop that cartridge out, and then we just took the print module off. One screw.
And you can see the colors of the image there, by the way.
Yep. No ribbon cables, no tubes, no air assist, no realigning the laser. One screw, and you pop the laser module in. That's just super convenient. This actually went in a lot easier the second time. Yesterday, when we installed it, or the day before, we had a little problem getting that on there because I had to I'm forcing these things. I don't want to do that. And then it went on a lot easier. Just put your one screw in there to secure it. I don't even know if you need that screw, but I put it in there because it's in the instructions.
And it definitely sped this up.
And we may have cut this, we cut it twice.
We cut it twice based on some testing we did yesterday, but I'm not 100% sure we needed it twice today for this project.
I think it actually cut a little too much of the puzzle pieces out.
Yeah.
But still, for our first test, that's pretty cool. Look at that. Look at that. These are things you have never been able to do with a laser cutter before.
And this is our first test using the print module on this machine, and I think that looks great.
You try putting that puzzle back together, how long did that take you?
That took a little time. Those pieces were too small.
Hey, subscribe and leave a comment with things that you want us to try on Flux Ador. We're loving this thing.